Meet here, play here, win here. That is the motto of the Rantoul Family Sports Complex. Here today to tell us more about it is Ryan Reed. Welcome to ciLiving.
Thank you so much for having me here. Appreciate it.
All right, so tell me a little bit about the complex.
Yeah, so we opened in 2021. We're about to enter, well, we've entered our fifth year at the complex. And last year and in 2023, we surpassed 1 million visitors, which we didn't expect to do until 2027 or 2028. So it's been going really, really well. This little experiment that Rantoul came up with is great, and sports tourism is alive in Champaign County.
Well, talk to me a little bit about sports tourism, because I know that that is something that we take a lot of pride in.
Yeah, so now Illinois is actually ranked 5th out of every state in the country, which is pretty remarkable. We're behind California, Texas, Pennsylvania, and I think Florida. So sports tourism in general is really great for Illinois. It brings in a lot of economic impact through those tourists that come here. We see people in Rantoul as far away as Chicago, Wisconsin, all the surrounding states, but we've also seen 26 states total and 4 different countries come to Rantoul.
Wow, that's incredible. That's really, I feel like for Central Illinois, that's a big accomplishment.
Yeah, absolutely.
And something else that I heard about your complex is that sometimes when there's inclement weather or things like that and you can't play anywhere else, it's still open for business?
It's our facility, yeah. So we are a 100% synthetic turf facility, which means that we can play starting February and we go all the way through sometimes as late as December. Really depends on the weather. The facility will be fine, but it depends on how sports are going. So like this weekend, there's a lot of wind. I'm sure we're probably under a wind advisory right now. So it gets a little windy out there, but perspective-wise, back in 2022, we had about 14 inches of rain reported by you guys, and we still played 142 baseball games around that entire weekend. So
wow.
We are meant to be supported through weather, and it's been a really great 5 years now dealing with it. So
yeah, and those are beautiful fields. I mean, the greenery just looks amazing.
Yeah, it's easy when it always stays green, right?
Exactly, when it's green year round. Well, I see them playing soccer on the screen right now, and I see that you've brought some balls. So I thought maybe we could, you could show me some stuff. Sure.
Well, let's start with rugby.
Okay.
We are actually hosting the Illinois Rugby Association's I guess youth championships.
Okay.
So it's boys high school all the way down to girls middle school.
Okay.
So first time it's been south of I-82, so we're really excited to host it. Rugby.
That is a big ball. I feel like it looks like the football's like its baby.
Yeah. Well, I also brought a smaller football because I can't put my fingers around a big one.
Big one.
Yeah. So rugby is unique in the fact that you have to throw underhand and behind you. You can't throw forward. So they have a really unique style of throwing the ball where they hold it at their hip and then rotate it towards the athlete they're throwing to. So might want to take a step back.
All right.
I will throw gently, so I probably won't get a great look here, but check myself on the monitor. But so what you want to do is hold it at your hip and then give it a spin. And that's how they primarily throw it, yeah.
So unlike football where it just sort of goes, you have to manually like spin it?
Yep. And so if you have a pretty decent distance, how they do it actually works really well, and it's thrown pretty fast and pretty hard. But that's the gist of how you throw a rugby ball. So we'll be hosting the championships May 31st. It's a one-day event, and we're really excited because we don't have a lot of rugby downstate.
Right.
We work really closely with the club team at the university, but other than that, we're really trying to bring in some more rugby, and this is a great opportunity for us. So
yeah,
very excited.
I feel like even being sort of interested in sports, rugby is a sport that I don't know a lot about. So I'll have to come to some of the matches.
Yeah, by all means.
All right, and then we've got a football.
Football. Okay, here's my lecture for football. So football, which most people I think have a general concept of how to throw a baseball, right? So you're going to lean into it and your hand follows through.
Okay.
To throw the perfect spiral, you want to keep your hand up like this. And so when you step back in the pocket and you throw back, you're releasing completely up. I'm gonna back up a little bit here.
Okay.
But, so just give it a good turn, and you should get a pretty good spiral.
Okay.
Could probably use about 20 more yards.
I was gonna say, exactly. It's sort of controlled spiral.
Yeah, that was absolutely it. So it's not too difficult, but it's just remember to put your hands on the laces.
Okay.
And keep your hand completely flat when you release.
When you do it.
Yeah.
Ezekiel Holmes from U of I was here a few weeks ago, and he showed us some like drills for football. So I like it. We're sort of collecting our football skills here on ciLiving.
I'm glad somebody who knew what they were talking about was helping me out. Yeah.
There you go.
That's great.
And then soccer. So my littlest niece, Mackenzie, is a soccer player.
Yeah.
So she's been asking me to do something about soccer on ciLiving. So this is for you, Mackenzie. What are we doing with soccer?
We're going to stray away from juggling since we want to try to do something that she can recognize and I'm not great at and since she's new to it. So we'll just work on passing. But this is my sport, so I can really explain this a little bit better. So there's two major tricks to passing a ball in soccer. You can use any part of your foot, but your instep, this part right here, is what we want to use to pass a ball back and forth.
Okay.
The second trick is that the foot you don't use, you want to point in the direction of where you're going to pass that ball.
Oh, I see.
So if you point your foot this way and then you go to pass it, you're going to probably go that direction. So I want to pass straight to you.
Okay.
And then I'm going to follow through with the instep of my foot. Right?
And then wait, how do I catch it? That's
Good
the important
question.
thing.
Now I'm going to date myself and quote Mighty Ducks, but just like in the film, you want to cradle that ball as it comes in. So I'll start lightly, but you just, as the ball comes in, you just want to kind of bring your foot back to catch it.
Okay.
All right.
So like this?
Yep, absolutely.
All right, great. And then now I have to point, if I'm going to kick with, I'll probably kick with my left, I guess.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I'll...
Perfect, yep. Absolutely. So I'm going to do it again. I'm a lefty, so I'm going to step in there.
Okay.
It works. Absolutely.
And then if we do it the other one. Oh, I see what you're saying, because I feel like my foot was a little bit turned and the ball goes exactly where your other foot is pointing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And that's the major thing to think about during soccer is if you don't, especially if you're shooting, if you don't have it pointed at the target, you're probably going to shank it left or right like you would in golf with a club. So, and soccer's a tough sport. People don't give it a lot of credit, but you're off balance, and it's a good sport to start with because it's good for kids' activities. There's lots of kids on the field, but it also teaches you balance, which you can take to any sport: basketball, football, all the above. So.
And I feel like you have to be really athletic because it's a lot of running and back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, I traditionally I play a position that basically sends me up and down the field the entire game. So you do have to be pretty fit, and some games you can run up to 8 to even 12 miles. So it's it's quite a bit of running.
That I didn't know. Fun facts about soccer.
Yeah, and we host a lot of soccer at the sports complex too. So we'll have at least 12 major weekends where we'll see over 100 to 150 teams.
Right.
So it gets pretty busy pretty quick, and that equates to about 30 to 50,000 people.
That is amazing. Well, if you want more information about the Rantoul Complex, you can visit us on the web at ciLiving.tv after the show.